The improved quality in this episode, as well as every future episode in my series, is thanks to the YouTuber Epic Copper, who encouraged me to switch from recording with QuickTime Player to instead using ScreenFlow. Previously on Seiferus, 3rd Echelon. This is my exploit bow, which has all these wonderful things. Normally that kills things in one hit. Look at that. Let me go ahead and take care of this. My Soak Touch bow. You know what? I'm also going to retire my exploit bow in this episode. I better wrap it up here. I don't want to corrupt anything on the server with Minecraft 2.0 before episode 50 comes out. Oh my god! Oh crap! No, 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 no! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh. You know, it's taken me weeks of therapy to get over what happened here. When I relogged, I was still in the death screen, and of course when I respawned, that bed was gone, so that trip back from spawn, I tell you, it felt like an eternity. When I finally got back here, you wouldn't even recognize this place. It was completely decimated. I actually had to hire extra help by adding members to the server just to get this back to something I recognized. It was terrible. But you know what? The flowers are blooming. The grass is green. Got some horses. Built a little fishing shack. And, you know, life goes on. The one thing that the dwarf made sure to take with him in his destructive path, however, was my beacon pyramid. So all that gold I used to have under here is gone. I mean, it's just gone. That bastard took all of it. Oh well, you know, we've got a gold farm on the server. 2, in fact, but, you know, I've been tearing both of them down. Because 1.5 came out and there's better ways to do things. So I guess today we're going to look at rebuilding the gold farm and updating it for 1.5. Alright, well let's go ahead and look at the old gold farm real quick by jumping into a single player world. Alright, so I loaded up a backup of the server and I took out the nether rack so that I could show you what the gold farm used to look like before we started to tear it out. So basically, it's pretty simple actually. So here's the spawning pads, and there's tripwire that goes all the way to these tripwire hooks on either side, and as soon as the zombie pigman spawns, it activates the pistons and he gets pushed off immediately. So as soon as he falls, he lands on these iron bars and he's killed instantly. Because it's, you know, it's long enough that they'll die from it. So once they hit there, some of the loot will stay on the iron bars and the rest of it will fall in the water. Now keep in mind that you can no longer melt ice in the nether to get water. So that's another reason why it's a good idea for us to update the gold farm. Now, the way it used to work is items would fall through here and then they would go through the... Oh, sorry about that. They go through the water stream. Let's try that again. They'll activate that tripwire, and then they'll go through the item elevator. Now this has worked really, really well, except that there's just a couple problems. Number one, I ran into a lot of problems with magma cubes spawning and falling and not dying. I believe that they have something in the game code that prevents them from dying from fall damage. So either that's been fixed, because I haven't seen any yet, but either that's been fixed or, you know, we just haven't seen any yet today. So I'm going to figure out something I can do to prevent that. The other thing we're going to be doing is a much more efficient item elevator using droppers and collections with hoppers, and I intend, once this is all done, if you guys, people who've watched my series before will remember that I used to need to grab the gold that came up through this item elevator and take it over to this... Oh, I'm going to go through this portal. Whoops. I used to have to take it over here and put it in the chest. Now, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to hook up a system that will take the gold and filter it directly into the chest so that I don't have to do that anymore. So we're also going to move the gold farm, because one of the main problems I have with this is that it limits the growth of my nether base because I can't go in this direction anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to place it in between this path and this path. So it's basically just going to sit nestled right there. So it'll exist, it'll still be activated when I'm around it, but I won't have a problem with moving in this direction towards Pecos's nether base. Alright, so let's hop back on the server and see what we can do. Alright, so here we are on the server. Let's go ahead. I want to plan this out in this... Whoa. Wow. Wow, that was weird. Let's try that again. Okay, so this is where we want to put it. I've checked a little bit and realized a couple things about it that are not exactly what we would have wanted. For instance, this only goes about 15, maybe 16 blocks, and we would have preferred to have closer to 20 for all the wiring. So instead of going long ways this way, we're going to go this way, and then we're going to do more than one spawning column. Because this time I don't want to go through the I don't want to go through the bedrock like I did on the previous gold farm, because originally this server used to be a place where I hang out with people I knew in real life, and you know, in my mind, Minecraft is a game that you shouldn't be hung up on vanilla, not vanilla with. It's just a place, you know, you should have fun with it. But now that we've got more players on the server, part of having fun with it is, in fact, sticking with vanilla and, you know, everybody having the same opportunities. So we're going to try to change things up a little bit and do this in a way where it can be replicated on... Whoop, press the wrong button. Where it can be replicated on any server or any world, and you guys could kind of follow along and make yourself your own gold farm. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and dig out the area I'm going to need, and I will hop back on the recording once that is done. All right, I'll see you soon. All right, guys, so this is the progress. You can see how much I've carved out of the nether here. These little chambers here are going to be where the magma cubes go. Underneath all these half slabs are hoppers, which lead over to an automated system that's going to send them back into the chest I want them to be in for the gold nuggets. These chambers in here on either side are, I'm going to put iron golems in here so that when the magma cubes come in, they immediately get killed, and their magma cream is going to land in the hoppers and get sent over to where I need them. All right, well, I'll jump back on when I am finished with this thing. All right, guys, so this is how the filtration system of the gold farm works. Or for the items, I should say, the drops. So as you can see, it uses the same dropper item elevator that I used in the automated squid and sugarcane farm, which you can see in some of my other episodes. And then for this part, I have it, since it powers this block, I have it also power this repeater in order to power this block, which deals sort of the final blow, because they go up and then over and then in. Because I didn't want to use hoppers, because I don't like the way hoppers look behind chests. So this is the rates I've seen since I completed the gold farm. Not bad. I've got the what do you call it? The rotten flesh is being it's being filtered out and then just dropped out of a dispenser into the bedrock so that it just despawns over time. Now I set something up. Oh, I did get at least one. That's interesting. Huh. I wonder if that was one I accidentally dropped. I accidentally lost one of my iron golems while working on this thing. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. And you know what, actually, while we're here, let me go into creative mode for a second. Why don't I go ahead and show you, so over here where the filtration system is, you might have noticed that there's another little system here for hoppers. Well, that is something you access through, you know, everybody knows about this by now, where you put the corner stair, you can access through it. This is where I would put things like fire charges, and the reason for that is because occasionally, as we saw in Example's last video, or one of his last videos at the time of me recording this, that sometimes creepers come through and ruin your portal, and you have to go find some flint and steel. So if anybody ever comes to over here, they want to go to my base, or they're coming from my base and the portal gets destroyed, there's a button right here. Just press it and it'll relight the portal. So I'm going to break it again since I'm in creative mode. I don't want to go through it. But let's go ahead and take a look at the gold farm. There's really not a whole lot to see. It behaves just like the last one I made, because that's a really good design, you know. And something that's kind of been a bummer is in the process of me working on this video, like, you know, this takes a long time to do, to carve all this stuff out and move all this stuff from that was over there. Oh, there's a magma cube right there. Perfect example. There you go. Oh, he's falling slowly because of that. But you know, this takes a long time to do, and in the process of me working on this video, Etho has put out a video about gold farms. And today, earlier at the time of me recording this, Queen King Happy did as well. I don't know. I personally, I think that my gold farm suits my purposes perfectly. I don't need to worry about competing with those guys. Anyway, so you can see here that this is where if the magma cube had landed, and I can just simulate it, I suppose, with a spawn egg, since we happen to be in creative mode. Oh, here's a huge one. That didn't work like I had planned. Let's get a small one in here. Oh, I might be getting, yeah, I'm getting some free magma cream. I hope you guys don't mind. I didn't think about that. But the problem is that what I was trying to say is that because they're so, they're the small ones, basically the way that they work is when they're not tracking a player, just like a normal slime, they go in one direction. So they're either going to end up over here or over there. Now, it is possible that he just got killed, but it is possible that when I'm way up there, because I'm pretty close to the ceiling of the nether, it's possible that they won't actually move. You know how sometimes mobs don't move when you're too far away? But, you know, it doesn't really matter. They aren't clogging this farm nearly as much as they were the other farm. And there's a potential that because we're not as close to the farm as we were on the last one, that they're not getting as good of as good of rates. But you know what? Like I said, it really doesn't matter because I don't want to be producing more than I can use. So in the long run, we've already gotten quite a bit of gold, and I'm not too concerned with getting the perfect rates on this farm. All right, well, let's go ahead and take one last look at the sorting system. Actually, you know what? I'm going the wrong way, number one. And I'm going to look at the sorting system in single player so I don't have to tear up anything. Alright, so here's the filtration system. These are the sort of items you'd expect to see going through it potentially. Mostly rotten flesh and gold nuggets, but potentially magma cream as well. So as you're going to see in a second, actually no, you won't. It's going to, now we'll switch it to that. So I just have the rotten flesh being shot out because, yes, there are uses for it in the game, but they're more of a nuisance because of how much you get. So I just have it despawn. And then over here, using this little setup, it filters through and takes out the gold nuggets. So this, as you can see, is starting to fill up with the nuggets I just placed in there. And way over here is just the 64 magma cubes I put in here, or sorry, magma creams I put in here earlier. So that's basically how it works. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Just before uploading this episode, Epic Copper contacted me over YouTube and let me know that he's actually transitioning to a new channel. So I'd like to take this time as an opportunity to extend my shout out to Epic Copper towards his new channel, Dark Seiferus. I encourage you guys to check him out. Sure to have some great content from him coming real soon. And if you had a hard time understanding what was going on at the beginning of the episode regarding the bow, I was trying to illustrate that I obtained the bow during 12W49A when anvils were first introduced, and you could use an enchanted book on any item. Over time, once hoppers were first introduced, I duplicated the bow using the item duplication glitch, and I wanted to make sure that the dwarf, who actually appeared first in episode 49, had come to destroy the bow. Alright guys, well that's about it. I hope you were entertained. Now that I've got all this dwarf stuff kind of out of the way and explained, I'm going to be back on my normal schedule of getting videos out much more often. So I really look forward to that, and I hope to see you soon.